So, have you ever poured your heart into creating some content? You hit post, and then just nothing. Crickets. Or maybe you feel like you're stuck on that content hamster wheel. Everyone else just seems to be flying past you. Today, we're doing a deep dive into some really interesting stuff for something called the Discover Your Voice 30-Day Sprint. Our mission, really, is to unpack this material, see how it proposes to solve that core problem, the content that just doesn't convert, and how it aims to help you build authority, confidence, and, consistent sales. The main idea seems to be moving from feeling invisible to being in alignment. That's the phrase they use.
That really is the core challenge for so many people, isn't it? And what's interesting here is how this material digs into why that happens. Often people get handed scripts, maybe templates, or they're just told hustle harder. But what seems to be missing, genuinely missing, is that repeatable system and the clarity, the confidence to show up online in a way that feels, well, authentic, real. So this deep dive, we're exploring how this sprint thing aims to give you that missing piece. It's about bridging your story with an actual content strategy that works.
Right, sets the stage perfectly for that common problem. Now, what really grabbed me is how the source material argues it's not just about hustle, it's deeper. It's about understanding how our brains are actually wired. It dives into this science says section. And the claim is pretty bold. The brain buys on emotion first, then logic. Specifically talking about the amygdala before the neocortex.
Exactly. And building right on that point, this material suggests, for content creators anyway, that this brain science stuff, it translates directly into how we connect or don't connect. The claim is the amygdala. You know, the emotional core of the brain, it makes that initial buy decision way before the neocortex, the logic center, even gets a look in. So things like mirror neurons, the brain cells that help us feel what others feel, they only fire up when people really feel your story. And the reticular activating system, the RAS, that only perks up when a message feels personal, relevant to you. Yeah. So it poses this really critical question, I think. If your stuff isn't connecting on that soul level, as they put it, is it really your offer that's off?
Yeah.
Or could it be your voice that just needs adjusting, needs to be clearer?
And it takes that idea even further. It talks about dopamine building momentum. Like action creates motivation, not the other way around. So if you're posting and posting, getting zero response, the suggestion is maybe it's not your hustle, maybe it's your hook. And if you're talking but nobody's really listening, maybe it's not the offer itself. Maybe it's your voice that hasn't quite found its resonance yet. Okay, understanding that emotional connection piece is the foundation. How does this sprint actually propose to change things for a creator?
That's where this Voicery Content Marketing Mastery Sprint comes in. That's the full title. It's billed as a 30-day done-with-you brand and content system for network marketers. And yeah, for anyone wondering, the sources are super specific. It says it starts July 25, 2025. It's a big promise, really, helping you find your voice, create content that actually works, and lead with clarity and confidence. The core idea isn't about doing more stuff. It's about showing up in your authentic power and building this like magnetic content engine around who you really are.
Okay, so done with your system. What about the tangibles? What do you actually get if you do this sprint? The deliverables they list are quite specific. Looks like you're set to walk away with, let's see, 7 scroll-stopping posts designed to start conversations, 3 reels, and they explicitly say, even if video makes you want to run away right now, confidence to do 1 live broadcast, a plug-and-post 30-day calendar. That sounds handy. Your own AI assistant, trained on your voice. Okay, that's interesting. And finally, clear magnetic messaging that actually attracts the right.
That is quite a list of deliverables, yeah. And the 4-week roadmap kind of shows how it all fits together, how they plan to get you there. Week 1 is all about Find Your Voice. This is led by Jeff Ross, and it introduces their own framework called Voicea. That stands for Values, Origin, Influence, Clarity, and Expression. It's about mapping out your unique story, getting really clear on your offer, and basically branding you without feeling like you're becoming someone else. These seem pretty universal elements for any personal brand.
Okay, week 1 is finding it. What's next?
Then week 2 is Use Your Voice. This is where the rubber meets the road, the practical stuff. It covers identifying your 3 core content types, using tools like CapCut, digging into trending audio tactics for Reels, making them engaging, and then going live with confidence. They mention using platforms like StreamYard or Riverside.
Makes sense. So find it, use it.
Exactly. Then week 3 is Leverage AI. This one's led by Dave Miller. And this is fascinating. It focuses on training AI tools. They mention ChatGPT and Claude to write specifically in your style, your voice. They also talk about creating faceless content, doing it at scale, and repurposing everything so it works together. A cohesive strategy.
AI trained on you.
Ah.
Okay. And the final
Week 4 is systematize and scale. This pulls everything together. You get your 30-day posting calendar all built out. They talk about crafting effective DM funnel posts. Those are messages, right? Designed to move interested people from your public stuff into a private chat. Optimizing your profile. And there's a bonus go live challenge plus a celebration. The tagline for this week is plug plus post peace. So making it sustainable. Does. And the tech stack they guide you through is pretty comprehensive too.
Wow.
You've got ChatGPT and Claude for the AI rating, CapCut for editing reels, Canva, Midjourney for visuals, StreamYard, Riverside for going live professionally, and then some quite cutting-edge AI video tools like Sora, Pika, RunwayML for that faceless video creation, plus automation tools like Descript and Repurpose.io. It's a lot of tools. What do you think is the biggest challenge in actually integrating all of that so it serves one unique voice instead of just being a bunch of separate apps?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Because just having the tools isn't the answer, is it? The sprint seems to suggest the integration comes from its core philosophy. The sources keep repeating this phrase: psychology-backed, faith-fueled, results-focused. I quote. Apparently, it was built using neuroscience-backed learning design concepts, NLP-based ZTA scripting, that's neuro-linguistic programming, used to craft calls to action that really connect and prompt action. They also mentioned gamified micro-wins, small successes to trigger dopamine, keep you motivated, and these mirror neuron-led story frameworks designed to create that genuine connection. It sounds, well, incredibly thorough.
Yeah, that's the crucial question, isn't it? Looking at how it's laid out, it feels like the biggest hurdle isn't necessarily the effort involved, but maybe getting that clarity first and then being consistent. The promise isn't about gaming the algorithm or buying fake followers. Instead, it seems to be about finding a voice you're genuinely proud of, building a system you can actually stick with day in, day out, and creating content that sparks real conversations, not just noise. The guarantee, as they state it, is pretty simple. Show up, do the work, and your voice will get louder, your brand will grow deeper. It really feels like it's about empowerment, being yourself with a plan, with a strategy. So as we wrap up this deep dive, the source material leaves us with this really powerful thought. You're not stuck, you're early.
I like that. You're early. Building on that thought then, maybe a question for you, the listener, to consider. In this world that's just absolutely saturated with content everywhere you look, what does it really mean to not just find your authentic voice, but to truly master it? And how might embracing a system, one that's built around that unique voice, how might that transform not just your content, but maybe your whole approach to leading, connecting, and showing up online?